Okay, the question I get asked more than anything right now, what's a super simple, super cheap, super easy to maintain streaming setup? Let's talk about it. Okay, I used to run the install department for an audio video lighting installation company that specialized in churches. And when COVID hit, I got real busy answering the same questions over the phone non-stop. And that was, hey, we've always wanted to go live. We wanted to stream to Facebook or YouTube or whatever. And well, now we have to. So I got really, really, really good at this whole streaming thing real quick. And fast forward to 2025, and what's my recommendation for something cheap, reliable, easy? Let's set it up. You got yourself a soundboard. Doesn't matter what the soundboard is. Whatever you've got in place already at your church will probably work. You go out of your soundboard into this PTZ Optics camera right here, which has USB output right on it. And then you go into your computer. For this demonstration, we're going to use OBS, but there's lots of options out there. So that's it. That's all there is to it. You don't have to do anything else. Soundboard, camera, computer, you're done. Okay, disclaimer, we're using OBS, which works on a Mac, PC, it doesn't really matter. It's open source, so it's free. There's a lot to it. You can really get in the weeds. You can really get messed up kind of quickly. I would recommend sticking with the basics. And if you do get lost or you need some training, there's a million videos already out on YouTube that'll tell you everything you need to know about OBS. We're going to take this a couple steps further. That was the most basic operation. And from there, you just bring your camera into OBS, you set it up in their little menu, and you can link Facebook, you can link YouTube, you can link whatever you want. You can go live as long as you got some sort of internet connection. You'll be just fine. If you want to kind of go from there, my next recommendation would be some sort of audio interface. Now here's the deal. These things are laying around your church probably. You probably got one in the back room, and that'll work great. If it's got a USB output that you can bring into your computer, all you're doing is you're taking the analog signal from your console over here, converting it to digital, and then going into the computer. Okay, so you would plug in your audio interface into your computer. You would run a line from your mixer to the audio interface, and then you would just configure it in OBS. And that's all there is to it. Now, this is not a video on how to get everything connected, all that stuff. There's so many of those already out on the internet. Just search it. This video would get way too long, and I try to keep these things pretty short. Next option, boom, a video switcher. Now, this one's the Blackmagic ATEM Mini. In my opinion, these are the best ones. These are so awesome. They come in lots of different sizes. They're super inexpensive, especially for the small ones. And this allows you to take, let's say you got a laptop and a camera, or maybe you got a laptop and a couple cameras, and you want to bring them all into one spot where you can switch back and forth and then go live from there. And if you notice on the back of here, it's got ports. And a place for a microphone. Look at that. So you can run from your mixer to the microphone. And then here, look at that. It says webcam out. And you would go to OBS. Now, some of these, that's an old one. That one's like a first gen. I bought that thing right when they first came out, like about 5 years ago. Some of the new ones, oh, actually, I think all of them now, maybe. You can stream right from the video switcher. So you wouldn't even need a computer at all. You could literally go laptop, camera, little Blackmagic ATEM Mini switcher, internet, and you're done. In fact, that's what we're doing over here. Check this out. I just thought of this just now. We're on the fly right here. Okay, hang on. See this right here? This is the big one. This is the big SDI version. And, oh, it's not coming up. But yeah, here we go. So we've got a camera, we've got a computer that's off, and then you've got everything right here. But we can stream right to Facebook or a hard drive. There's all kinds of options with these bigger ones. But to keep things simple, if all you're doing in your little church is something small, simple, just get one of these. Monitor on the floor on your stage. You probably have monitors on your stage, and you probably have separate mixes going to these monitors, especially if you have a digital console. You've got a lot more mixes than we used to back in the analog days. But anyway, think of your live stream mix kind of like a monitor, except with a monitor, we do what's called pre-fade, meaning that if I'm talking into this mic here, this imaginary mic that I've got in my hand, I don't want it to go up and down when they turn it up and down in the house. I want it to stay at the same volume all the time, or else we're gonna have some problems, because I'm gonna be playing guitar and singing, and if my vocal is going in and out of this monitor, or my guitar is going in and out of this monitor, it's gonna be bad news. I'm not gonna be able to follow anything, so I want those levels to be set all the time. The only difference between this and our live stream mix is we're gonna make what's called post-fade. That means when we turn things up in the house, they go up on the live stream. And when we turn things down in the house, they go down on the live stream. So let's hit the console and let me show you what I'm talking about. Now again, this is not gonna be a tutorial about how to do all these things, but this is a very general overview. So let's say we've got a bus right here. Look at this, we've got bus 12. All right, we're gonna put that up to unity. And then let's just pretend like it's already set to post fade. So then when I select something, I'm going to, let's pretend like this is the band. I'm gonna put the band at like -10, all right? And the reason why, and I'm gonna put them all the same on every page. I'm gonna put every single instrument all the same. I'm gonna put them all at -10. Then I'm gonna put the pastor at unity. And why do I do that? Why do I do that? And let's pretend like this right here. Let's pretend this is a speaking mic. So we've got like they say announcements are happening here, and the pastor's preaching here, and then the rest of the band looks like this, okay? And the reason why is because bands typically are louder than the preaching. Now, in-house, they might be similar volumes, but on the live stream, how many times have you seen this? The band's going, it's great, whatever, and then the pastor gets up to preach, and it's like the volume drops in half. We can avoid this by putting the band at -10 and the pastor right at 0. Now you have to play with this because every church is going to be a little different. It kind of depends on your room and how hard you drive the PA and what kind of musicians you have, and there's so many factors in this, but this is a good trick. So there are plenty of videos on how to set your mix up to post fade, and then from there you just route it out into your video switcher, into your computer, into your camera, whatever you want. Okay, why do I set the entire band, every single channel at the exact same fader level on that bus? Because when you're mixing in the house, you're making adjustments. Let's pretend like the guitar player, electric guitar player. He's not playing much on the first song, but then when the second song starts, man, he's just smoking. And what do you do if you're mixing the room? Well, you turn the guitar player down a little bit so that he blends in. You can hear him and everybody else. If you had a pre-fade mix, he'd just be smoking all the way through that second song. Now, if his grandma's watching the live stream, she might be really proud of him. But the rest of us want to hear some more musicians than just that guitar player. So having a post-fade bus helps, because now I'm bringing it down in the house. It's coming down in the live stream, which means in theory, things should sit a little bit better. Of course, it all depends on how you mic things and your gain structure. I've got other videos that I'll link for those, but this helps because it's a more accurate representation of what's happening in the room. Now, do you have to leave all the faders right at -10? No. You play around with it, you get an idea, but usually that's where I start, and that's where I end up leaving everything, because it just seems to work that way the best. But you experiment in your space and see how it goes. And maybe you're already doing this. Maybe this is new to you. Again, you might be running an analog console. If you're running an analog console, you might have to get a little more creative. Maybe you're out of buses on your digital console and you might have to get a little creative. There's ways around it. And again, there's lots of videos on all these things. So I'm not going into in depth on how to route all these things and what to do. This is just a general tip and trick to get you started. Speaking of my videos, You guys made it to the end. This was a little bit longer of a video, and it was a little bit of a change from what I've been talking about. In fact, the last video I talked about how I don't talk about gear, and in this video, it's pretty much all about gear. And I'm going to be making some more videos. So if you guys have videos you want me to make, leave it in the comment section. And while you're in the comment section, go ahead and like and subscribe. There's some affiliate links down there if you want to see what kind of camera this is that I'm using right here, or the microphone I'm using, things like that. You can buy me a coffee. It's down there. All kinds of stuff to support this page so we can keep going. We can keep making videos and all that stuff. So anyway, see you guys in the next video.